Recap, sessions 25 and 26. From the mouth of birds and ashes in the orchard, told at the last Lantern Tavern 2 nights after their return, Marder clanks her mug on the bar. You want to know what happened to him? Fine, sit down, shut up, and keep your hands off the pickled pears. Those are Fritz's, and he will know. She straightens her apron and leans on the bar. So, it all started with a damn bird, a raven, 3 flaming eyes, just sitting on poor Eldara's chest like it paid rent, while she lay there in a coma, fading from memory like a name in smoke. You know Eldara, the librarian with more wrinkles than patience. Lovely woman, smelled like rosemary and righteous indignation. Fritz went all wide-eyed, well, wider than usual, and did that whole something is wrong with the arcane fabric of the world thing. Meanwhile, Vici was downstairs pretending to look for books while charming every woman in the building who's ever owned a cardigan. He's got a type. They follow the raven's trail out the window, find a cursed feather in Eldara's mouth, and do what any smart adventuring party would do. Take the cursed object directly to the nearest priest and hope for the best. Turns out the curse wasn't just any curse. It was family business. A journal from Eldara's mother, God's rest her, explained it all. The curse was planted generations back by some vengeful spellbinder named Marvale. You heard me. Real dramatic. Bound his own soul to the curse so that as long as he lived, Eldara's family line would slowly vanish. He even cursed her mother's ghost raven form to be mute so she couldn't warn her daughter. Absolutely charming man. They track him to some forgotten shrine, real subtle place, just a collapsed altar, death traps, haunted stone guardians, and oh, right, a helmed horror. You know, the usual Wednesday night. Mix, bless his chaotic little heart, starts disarming traps like a sugar-fed squirrel. They go deeper, find some whites, and then bam! Hidden passageway teleportation. Suddenly they're in a wizard's tower. And guess who's home? She pauses, staring over the rim of her mug. Flaming, Vale. Now, I wasn't there, but from what I hear, it went something like this. They try to talk. Marvell monologues like a bad poetry contest winner, then starts throwing fireballs, big ones. People go down. Mix gets torched like a festival pie crust. Fritz looked like someone left him in the sun too long, but in the end, they corner him. Shackles on, staff cracking, moment of victory. She snaps her fingers. He teleports out. Coward. Vanished into the ether like a guilty bard. But the mission? Completed. They found the truth, and Eldara's mother, well, she's still circling in raven form. Eldara's still in a coma. The curse still lives, so we're calling that a partial success. She sips and sets the mug down harder than necessary. Now you'd think that'd be enough for a week, right? Wrong. Marder leans in a little softer now. Barley Cross sent word. The orchard there started blooming ash. Not flowers. Ash. And every dusk, a ghost woman named Mira Lauren sang lullabies near the lake. Lovely voice. Sadder than a widow's shadow. The villagers thought she just needed peace. Hired the group to lay her to rest. Simple, right? She snorts. They found her old shack, overgrown and swallowed by vines, inside her journal. Turns out her baby boy vanished one day while she was hanging laundry. One blink and he was gone. She never forgave herself. Her husband buried and left. Mira stayed, singing, waiting. But something changed recently. The land soured. Animals died, trees turned cruel, and when the party arrived they were greeted by twig blights, web-spitting spiders, and vines with a vendetta. The orchard tried to hang them, literally. She pauses. They survived. Of course they did. This lot's too stubborn to die properly. At dusk, they went to the lake, and there she was, Mira's ghost, still singing. Quiet now. They followed her gaze to the water, and there, flickering on a rock, was her son, but not alive, a will-o'-wisp, feeding on the boy's spirit for decades. They made a deal. Save the boy and she'd finally rest. And what a fight that was. The wisp blinked in and out, biting into them like guilt. Trug nearly went down. Kane disappeared into the trees more than once. Even Fritz was breathing heavy, which is rare unless he's reading. But they won. The ghostly child was saved. He floated to his mother's arms, and for the first time in 50 years, Mira smiled. They both faded, like dawn wiping away dreams, and with them all the trapped spirits of the orchard found their peace. She straightens up, wiping at her eye like it's dust. The land's healing now. Barley Cross is planting real fruit again, and here we are, back at the lantern. She slams her hand once on the counter. So raise a mug to Mira and Dol, to Eldara and her mother, and to this cursed, cracked, relentless party who, despite everything, just keeps going. Then quieter. And to Fritz, for still seeing the good in strange kids and haunted women. You make us old folk believe again. There's silence. Then someone coughs. Marder shouts, "All right?" "Who touched the pears, I swear?"